Hello and welcome back to our little video, part 2 of our trip to the Picos de Europa. So if you remember then, our plan was to leave Riano on the N621 and head back home to Llanes via Deer Pass, which is an iconic viewpoint up the top of a mountain, and then head back to the biggest town in Picos de Europa region, which is Potes. On our previous video I said I really liked the N625, but what I really like is the mountains, and I was really looking forward to going over the top of the mountain range to get back home to our accommodation. But like all good plans, this just didn't happen. Instead, we met up with two other bikers in Riano, and they told us that before we got to Deer Pass there was an equally impressive viewpoint which nobody seems to know about, a bit of a secret, which was well worth visiting. They told us that the views there were stunning, so that's where we're off to now. And apart from telling us there was a statue of another animal, not a deer, they wouldn't tell us much else about it. They did tell us though that to get there we'd have to come off the N621 and head up a mountain dirt path to get there. We were at the top of the mountain now, about 5,500 feet above sea level, and the scenery was amazing. It was like a massive mountaintop panorama opening up right before our eyes. We spent a good 20-30 minutes up here just admiring the view. I was tempted to get my drone out at one point, but unfortunately there were a load of eagles flying around, which was amazing to see anyway. So as we drove away from the mountain top, we were really grateful that we'd met up with the other two bikers in Riano who had told us about this beautiful place. It's only about 1 mile to Deer Pass statue, and as we drove I wondered just how many people had driven down this road towards Deer Pass, not knowing that literally less than a mile away there was an incredible viewpoint just off-road. So Deer Pass is really iconic. If you look on the Picos de Europa brochures, you'll find this picture of the deer plastered everywhere. I'm really glad we came here just to say we've been here, but to be honest, the bear statue was much better. The views are much better. But that didn't stop me getting my branding out and putting my little sticker with all the other bikers' logos. If you're planning on coming up here, and I really recommend you do, I've put the latitude and longitude of Deer Pass and the bear statue in the comment section for you. Now if these type of roads don't float your boat, then maybe, just maybe, biking isn't for you. We've driven about 130 miles so far, and we'd seen what it appears to be about half a dozen cars or so, but we'd seen plenty of other motorbikes, and I've got the sneaky feeling whoever designed these roads was a biker. I was loving this road, and for me it had the edge over the route into Riano, mainly because it was a little bit more challenging. After all, what self-respecting biker doesn't like some twisties with inclines thrown in? It's hard to believe that this was our first day in the Picos. We'd ridden the N625, which was a very biker friendly road with fantastic views, and we'd spent an unexpected 2 or 3 hours in the beautiful town of Riano. We'd had to go on the highest swing in Spain, which gave us stunning views of Riano as we looked down. We then got onto the N621, which is a little bit more of a challenging mountain road with brilliant views and some lovely twisties thrown in as well. And then we'd visited the bear statue, which in my opinion gave us the best views of all, and now we were heading into Potes. So far, the N625 and the N621 had both been fantastic roads. Now I did say in the previous video that this road had been making all the biker headlines for all the wrong reasons, and we were just about to find out why. So we knew this road had the potential to have lots of traffic jams, but so far we hadn't encountered any. So when we hit this little traffic jam with a bit of roadworks, we thought we dodged a bullet. There was no other vehicles there. We had a straight run through the roadworks, and happy days, we thought. It isn't as bad as people are making out. But once we got through the traffic jam, and it just happened. Every 10 minutes of driving or so, it was just one traffic jam after another after another. Each time we were in a traffic jam, we were kept in a queue for 15 to 20 minutes before we could move on. Now it's difficult to get annoyed because obviously the people are trying to improve the roadworks. They're trying to make them better roads, and in 1 or 2 years time I imagine they're going to be absolutely fantastic, even better than what they are today. But it's such a shame because you can see the scenery here. It was absolutely amazing. It was a lovely drive. It was stop start all the time, and in fact it held us up that much we couldn't go to Potes. Although the video now it looks like it's daytime, it was actually getting into the evening. It was getting a little bit darker, and we were worried if we carried on driving it'll be pitch black and we'd be stuck on the mountain driving on these roads, which didn't fill us with much confidence. So we decided we'd bite the bullet and just go back straight to Yanni's. Now don't let the fact that we were stuck in traffic jams for about an hour and a half, possibly 2 hours, detract from these roads. They were absolutely fantastic. As a loop, it's probably one of the best I've ever done. In fact, I'd put it just underneath the Pyrenees mountain loop. They're called the Tourmalet and all them type of routes. It's absolutely fantastic. Would I come back here again? Probably, yes I would. But for us now, we were heading back to Yanni's. We were going to do the touristy thing. We were going to hit the beaches, have a look around Yannis. But what we didn't counter on was 2 days later we were going to visit another mountain. We were going to go up a cable car, and the road we travelled on to get to the mountain was even better than the 621 and the 625. It's a road I'd never even heard about before. I've never seen it on YouTube. I've never seen other bikers talking about it, but it was absolutely fantastic. So if you'd like to find out how me and Mrs. Happy Biker got on with our last few days in the Picos, find out a little bit more about the road we found, then join us in our last video of our time in the Picos. And please, if you like the videos, like and subscribe.